Chris, we're still waiting for a report from the Conservative Party into prejudice. It was announced last year. When are we going to see that?
Well, that report is underway. It's independent. It's being conducted by a former commissioner from the ECHR.
And when, Paul is asking, when will we see it?
Well, the work is underway. I can't give you a date tonight, but the work is underway.
It's been almost a year now.
But I would point out there is only one political party in history that has been investigated by the Equality and Human Rights Commission. That is the Labour Party on this anti-Semitism issue. I would also point to the fact that the Conservatives have appointed the most diverse government in British history. We're the first party to have appointed an ethnic minority Chancellor of the Exchequer and the second ethnic minority Chancellor of the Exchequer. We were the first party to appoint an ethnic minority Home Secretary and the second ethnic minority Home Secretary. So we have appointed the most diverse cabinet as a symbol of our commitment to this important issue.
Chris, that's what they used to say to folks when they were desegregating neighborhoods. Oh, well, we have a black person here, you know, in our neighborhood, so we're cool, we're all right. That doesn't wash anymore, okay? You don't judge people like that anymore. We look at human beings. The Baroness Varsi has been on you, not you personally, but on the Conservative Party, her party, for years about this. This does not excuse or wash over the Labour Party. I'm not doing that. But there is housework you need to be doing too, and putting people of color in the cabinet does not erase that fact.
Can I just...
Yes, do go ahead, because then I must bring Anthony in.
Absolutely. I just want to say, look, the Tories do need to acknowledge there is a problem with Islamophobia in the Tory party, and they do acknowledge they need to do something about it. The Board of Deputies did input into the Singh report, but you've got to look at scale here. The BNP have also been investigated by the EHRC, but so many people in the Labour Party have been investigated. You're not seeing from the Conservative Party MPs fleeing from the party, like Luciana Berger, a pregnant woman at the Labour Party conference. She even had to have security. Louise Almond, she had to flee the party after 55 years. So you're not seeing the same level of scale, even though there are problems that have to be addressed in the Conservative Party.
And Auntie, let me bring you in here. I mean, how is this looking to you on the other side of the Atlantic?
Well, I'm going to light a novena candle and say, thank God I'm not involved in British politics. I got my own problems on this side of the pond. But here's what I would say, and I mean this very respectfully to Chris, and because I'm relating to what Bonnie is saying about tokenism. And I think what we find in our societies that we have to break down the systemic and institutional racism. And so if the racists think you're a racist, well, guess why you're a racist? And if the anti-Semites think you're an anti-Semite, you're likely an anti-Semite. Even if you're not doing it intentionally, there are systemic and institutional biases. And I think the point that Bonnie's making, which I'd like to hammer, is that you can't say, well, one of my best friends is black, therefore I'm not a racist. I mean, you just can't do that, okay? It's tokenism. What we have to do is what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said a long time ago, is judge each other by the content of our character, not the color of our skin. And by the way, I grew up in a very patriarchal Italian-American immigrant family. And so, you're also biased by the way you grow up. And it's important for you to seek that enlightenment and to make that transformation. And we need to do it as a culture and a civilization. It has to be at the institutional level. So it's got to be at the Labour level and at the Conservative level, frankly.
But these appointments I mentioned earlier, they're not tokenistic, right? The people I'm talking about, who are my friends and colleagues.
About it like that, Chris.
Hang on, let me finish the point.
Chris,
let me finish
it's
the point.
Important. It's important.
I know it's important.
It's important, Chris, because it's important for you, because you're a good guy. It's what Anthony is saying to you, what I'm saying, it's important for you to take it in. It doesn't matter, okay? What matters is what you do. And that's what we're saying. It doesn't matter that you've got a black and brown cap. It doesn't matter. And that's what people are in the streets are about now. It doesn't matter. It's what you do. And if you pursue policies and you stay the same way, you can have whatever. It don't matter. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's important for you to get it inside yourself.
And by the way, she means it respectfully, too. I just want to interject.
Well, I don't know if I do.
She means it very respectfully. She's trying to... Yeah, she's giving you the benefit of the doubt. You're not racist. She's just trying to tell you that you're in a systematic web.
Well, that's the South
you
Side.
may not sometimes see things the way minorities see them.
Well, the point I was making is that my colleagues in government are not there for reasons of tokenism. They're there because they're incredibly talented, energetic, hardworking,
You didn't hear anything I said.
dynamic people. And of course, I understand we've got to dismantle any barriers to anyone achieving their potential, because, as in the words of Martin Luther King Jr. that Anthony quoted a minute ago, what matters is the content of someone's character, their ability, their talent. We should be unfettered. People should be able to go as far as
I never used the
they
word
can run.
token. You did.
No, I
You
didn't.
used
I
it
didn't.
twice. I never said token.
He did. Someone did. It wasn't me.
I never
I
said
think today we should concentrate a bit more on the Labour Party anti-Semitism, because when you look at what Jeremy Corbyn did this morning in his speech, he totally tried to say that it wasn't so important. He even tried to suggest he'd made improvements, and he's someone that's got to accept responsibility. And I think the lessons from the Labour Party are what we should be really focusing on today.
Let's hear a bit more from our audience. Lots of hands up. Donna.